NBC kicks off their new season with Deception starring Meagan. Good plays a detective who goes undercover in a wealthy family to solve a murder. To find the truth, she must become a lie.
Well, the show is titled Deception, and it's appropriately titled because, everybody is got a bag of bones in their closets. Skeletons that's an understatement. So the deeper and deeper we get into the case, the more you find out that what may be squeaky clean on the outside really ain't on the inside. And so we start finding out that, Julian Bowers, who looks like the perfect guy, he's got, some dark ways about him. And Edward Bowers, who, appears to be the darkest of the black sheep of the family, he actually has some good. He might actually not be the guy that everybody's suspecting him to be. And of course, Robert Bowers, who's the patriarch of the family, he's just kind of manipulating everybody and everything. But we still don't know who's behind the murder. So, the murder almost becomes, it starts off as the A storyline, and it kind of like starts dropping once we start getting to know these people a little more intimately. You start realizing like, wow, there's a lot more stuff going on than just what meets the eye.
The Bauer family, everyone is uniquely different. Sophia is kind of scary. You don't know what she's capable of, and she's very big and very broad and very energetic. Mia is kind of sweet, but also has like a sassy kind of standoffish vibe. And she's also very quiet and very private. Let's see, who should I go with next? Robert is kind of the father figure that I never had. He was, part of raising me, basically. I had been in the house since I was 4 to 17. So he's the only dad that I know in a way. And he's also just very powerful. His character is just very rich, in every sense of the word. Let's see, Vivian, who is the character that passed away, she just was fun-loving, crazy, over the top, just, went for anything in life. There's no boundaries, complete hippie gypsy, just did her thing. And then Julian is the bad boy. He is the one that the girls just love, and just a great personality, a lot of fun, really sweet. Just any girl would fall for him easily. And then Edward is kind of mysterious, has kind of a dark past. He was basically accused of committing murder, but then got off, so no one knows if he really did it or not. But he also has the sweet side, but he's always constantly on the defense because he feels like everyone's out to get him. Joanna fits into the Bauer family because her mother was their live-in nanny, and she came to live with her mother as her mother was living in with them. And so she grew up, her and Vivian were best friends from childhood all the way until they were teenagers, and they had this kind of strange falling out, and then they hadn't spoken in 13 years. So the show opens up with Vivian being murdered, and we have no idea what happened to her. And by this time, Joanna has, grown up. She's living in San Francisco. She's a police officer, and her partner, Will, who's played by Alonso, comes to recruit her to go undercover as the FBI back into the family that raised her to try to find out who, if somebody in the family did it, does someone have something to do with it, and what in fact actually happened to her childhood best friend. Robert and Julian immediately accept me back. They're like completely open arms. They miss me, Robert feels that he is making something right with Vivian by helping me out. And Julian, we used to have a relationship when we were younger, and so I still kind of have that schoolgirl crush with him, but he's also still a suspect. And then Mia's a little standoffish. She never really got a chance to know me. She was, not even born yet by the time I had left. And Edward is suspicious. He's like, why are you here 13 years later? Like, what's your deal? What do you want? What are you trying to get? He even accuses me of trying to get pregnant by Julian. And Sophia she's just not having it. She's the woman of the house. That's the way it is. She doesn't want another woman in her house. And she, also didn't get a chance to know me. So she's like, why are you here?
There's definitely some heat between Joanna and Will, a lot of tension between the two. They're ex-lovers, and how when that fire never completely dies out, you kind of see that here. They really care a lot about each other. He really respects Joanna, and in his mind, he might have thought that this case might bring them together, and the deeper and deeper they go in and undercover, the further apart they're getting torn. So eventually you start seeing Will kind of feel like he made a mistake in bringing her in, because she actually starts getting closer to Julian than she does Will.